All right, guys. Hello and welcome to another episode of Picks and Predictions. We have Serie A today, and then we have like a lot of interesting games. And it's just Serie A is like obviously the champion is pretty much decided, but it's Champions League spots, relegation spots. It's just Serie A is quite interesting as always. One of the highest scoring leagues this year, and I do believe it's gonna be this way in this weekend. So let's start it over. And before we actually go into the games, I want to remind you that OneXBet is an official partner of this show and this channel. So if you go ahead over there and register, make sure you use the code 1x Kassad or Kassad 1x, and you will be able to get up to €130 bonus directly from me. So go check it out. Anyway, first game, we have the Friday games. We have two Friday games, and the first one is Lecce against Udinese. Now, Lecce is fighting for to avoid relegation. Udinese, on the other hand, they are pretty much safe. They're playing for not much, I guess, except for their fans and their contracts. So I do believe they are, they're pretty like loose when it comes to this game. I know Lecce is fighting heavily for the to stay in the league, and I do believe they might win this game. Odds are very tempting, 2.5, and definitely something that we're taking. I think both teams to score is also a decent option. I'm personally going to go with both teams to score. And let's see what it's 195. It's a pretty decent one. I think Lecce can score at home against anyone. We saw them scoring against Milan. We saw them scoring against Inter. We saw them scoring against different teams. And Udinese as well is a team that can score away or at home. It doesn't really matter. So overall, I do believe this game is going to be both teams to score. I think Lecce might win this one, and draw no bet on Lecce is also a decent option in my opinion. So that offers you maybe 180 or 175, 170. I think it's a decent odd. Now Spezia against Monza. Monza is fighting. I mean, they're pretty much safe, but they're fighting for their president. The president, as we know, is Silvio Berlusconi, the ex-prime minister of Italy. He's fighting for his life right now, and I think everybody in the club is just focused on making him happy and giving him getting some good news and like playing for him, and that the vibe is like that in the club. And they can score. Spezia is definitely a team that can score. And I do believe this is another game where both teams can score, and that's something that I will probably go myself. The odds are a little bit lower, 182, but these teams can definitely score. And players like Caprari is like they can definitely put some goals into the net. And I do believe it's going to be like that. Over 2.5 is also a decent option for this. It's 2.1. I think it can easily go in. It's just a decent game to bet on. Anyway, those are the two Friday games right now that we had like going on. Moving into the Saturday, 3 o'clock, we have one game, and then one game at 6, and one game at 8:45. It's a pretty kind of strange schedule right now for Serie A, but it's because of this whole thing, like with the national, with the World Cup in the past, and like the national squads playing. It's a little bit messed up this season, but we have just enough games to enjoy the weekend. So Napoli against Salernitana. Napoli is a team that will probably, you know, 99.999% win the league. They just need a couple of more points, and they're going to get 3 points against Salernitana. I think they're going to play with the strongest lineup. They're out of Champions League. They have nothing to play for. They're out of the cup, so they're playing only for their fans and to win that Serie A title. So right now, them to win is 130, 123. You can combine that with like Manchester City or something like that. Maybe Bayern Munich can get like some small akka for a couple of units. But the thing is, like, Napoli will definitely win. Osimhen will definitely score. I think them to win is a decent option there, and I will probably go for it. Roma Milan. This is a game at 6 o'clock at on 29th of April, and both teams are fighting for the Champions League spot. Now Milan obviously have another chance to get there by winning the Champions League, but knowing how City plays, and they have to face Inter in the semis, which is a big deal right now. I think it's just a very important game for both teams. I don't know. I don't see too many goals right here. I think Roma is a team that plays with uh, super defensive. We all know Mourinho and how he plays, and Pioli is just not super attacking coach as well. It's just, for me, this is a game with low scoring teams, and I do think that maybe this is a game where draw is everybody would be happy with the draw here. Milan might push a little bit harder, but I don't know how much harder, because they have to play Champions League in 10 days from now, and maybe getting 1 point here is something that I would probably go for. This game screams like draw for me, or under 2.5. If you want to go with like one third of a unit, one quarter of a unit to actually get a draw, that's triple your money. That's something that maybe you should go for. I don't know. I would probably wait for the lineups and try to get some money. Now, the last game is Torino-Atalanta. Now, Torino is in a decent shape right now. They don't have anything great to play for, but Atalanta does. Atalanta is good at away games. They're not so well at home right now. They had a little bit of a rough period in the last few rounds, but they managed to get the win in the last round. It was 3-1. And I think odds for them to win this game are 254. And that's something that I would definitely take. But if you want to be more safe, you can go with the Asian handicap 0, which offers... which offers 1.8 on Atalanta. That's a pretty decent odd, if you ask me. I do think Atalanta might win this game, and I think they can score multiple times on Saturday. And they're playing well. Lukman and Muriel and Zapata and all these players that can definitely score. Torino is always a dangerous team, but I do believe in Atalanta on this one. And Atalanta Asian handicap 0 at 1.8 is something that will 100% take. Now, Inter Milan against Lazio. For me, this is an Inter win. For me, it has to be an Inter win. I think they, hit a period where they are playing good games, but they have so many games. This is the only possible trap, that they have so many games they played. So we have, they played in the Cup, they eliminated Juventus. Now they're going to be facing Fiorentina in the finals. They're still in the Champions League, in the semifinals against Milan. So that's a decent chance for them to actually get at least 50-50 chance to get them in the Champions League final to get that title. So they're fighting on 3 different fronts right now, which is very difficult for some of the players that are not 100% fit. The season has been long. There's a World Cup. Many of the players that play in Inter play the World Cup. So the fitness might be a problem. This is the only trap that I would probably think about. Now, Lazio is in a super good shape ever since they got eliminated from the European competition. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is playing great. Ciro Immobile is back. They are in the Champions League, position right now. Even after the Juventus got the 15 points back, it's going to be a little bit hard. For me, this is a must win for Inter, but I'm not going to go for it because my logic and every information that I have is telling me that Lazio won't lose this game. So the odds are 2.10 on that one. I do believe that Lazio can and will probably prevail in this one, at least not lose and get a single point, simply because the fitness of Inter Milan, team, and I don't think they can stand for it. Now, Cremonese and Verona is the very next game that we have, and I think it's the last game. If I'm not mistaken, it's the last game that we have here in this. We have Sassuolo and Empoli after that. But the thing is that we have 2 more games. So Cremonese just lost the cup game to Fiorentina. I mean, they got eliminated. Actually, I'm not really sure 100%, but let me check on that one. I think they did get eliminated by Fiorentina. Yeah, it was 0-0. It was no goals, and they got eliminated there. So they're fighting right now for to stay in Serie A, and I don't think they will, because they're second last. They're missing like 7 or 8 points right now behind Verona and Spezia. It's just for them, it's going to be super hard. I don't think they're going to make it. But they have to fight. Verona is the team that's above them, so this is the game they have to win to kind of cut that lead from Verona to half, to 4 points, and maybe go for it. So maybe, just maybe, this is a both teams to score. If you want to go for something like Cremonese to Asian handicap 0, that's also a decent odd. Maybe something like that. Let's see what Asian handicap 0 offers there. Yeah, it offers 220. That's a decent odd, and then it's something that I might take. So because I don't trust Verona this season at all. If there was like a last season or the season before that I would definitely trust them, but I don't trust them now. Cremonese at home, they're not the bad team, it's just, they're not the worst team, they're second worst, but overall I think they are they can score some goals. They have to score some goals. It's if they want to stay in the league. So for them, Asian handicap 0 is something that you can take for half a unit and see what happens. And the last game that we have is like the game that is keeps like disappearing from my screen. It's Sassuolo against Empoli. Now Sassuolo is a team that doesn't really have anything to play for, but they can score a lot of goals. And Empoli is a team that has to chase some goals. They're pretty much safe. If I'm looking at the table right now, they should be safe. They're in theory, they're just 5 points, 6 points behind in front of the Verona team that is facing Cremonese, like we said. But, they can definitely score. Caputo is definitely capable of scoring. And both teams to score here or over 2.5 goals is something that I would probably go for. But overall, it's a no bet for me. I don't think there is any, value in betting on this game. So there it is. It got back. So there is no value for me betting on this game whatsoever, simply because Sassuolo is playing for nothing. Empoli is kind of safe. They will look for 1 point, maybe double chance x2 for Empoli would be a decent chance, because 1 point will help them achieve the goal of staying in Serie A right now, and that's something that kind of worth playing for. But for me, this is a no bet game at all. So it's just something that maybe you should think about it before the game starts. Maybe you should wait for the lineups, see like the injury report, something like that. But for me, it is a no bet. And I believe if I look at the table right now, let's see what else is left in Serie A, because this site that we use, 1xBet, is kind of changing some of the games. We have 2 more games. I'm going to open them right now before they disappear. It's Fiorentina against Sampdoria. Now, Fiorentina is a team that has to win this one, but Sampdoria is a team that's probably relegated. They have only 17 points in 31 games. That's pretty poor. They have 2 draws in a row right now against Spezia, against Lecce, but it's just not enough. They're 8 points behind. Actually, they're 10 points behind the first team that's not going to be relegated. I don't think they can make it. Fiorentina is going to be starting with a full lineup here. I don't think they're going to be messing around, because, they just want the 3 points. They want to be in a good shape. And I think Fiorentina to win this one. But if you have, I'm probably not going to bet on this game, because it's Serie A after all. They're doing a lot of fixing. They're fixing a lot of fixing of games. It's just, for me, 133 is probably not going to be enough, and I'm not going to take it. So should probably avoid this one. And the very last game, we have Bologna against Juventus. Now, Juventus is a team that got his 15 points back there, right now sitting third on the table, but they lost 3 games in a row. 2-1 against Lazio, 1-0 against Sassuolo, and they lost against Napoli in the last round in that goal that was scored in the 89th minute or whatever. And they lost 3 games, like I said, in a row in Serie A, and maybe they go for this one. But Bologna is not a pushover. They're number 8 right now. They don't have a lot of chances to get in the European football, but they're playing good football right now. I don't think I saw Bologna on number 8 spot for a long time. So this game is if you really want to bet for this game, I would recommend maybe betting on Juventus to win, because Juventus just they got eliminated from the cup by Inter in a few days ago. They might play with the full lineup here, because just to secure the Champions League spot. Like I said, it's a very rough battle right there. Juventus is 59 points, Milan is 56, and they're playing against Roma. So if Juventus manages to win this game and Inter wins their game, they can jump on the second spot again. It's just there's a value of Juventus winning this game. So something that probably you should look at, and definitely bet on Juventus. If you have to bet on this game, I'm probably gonna wait for the lineups to see what kind of lineup Juventus is gonna post on this one, and it's just gonna wait a little bit more. So I think that covers up pretty much everything from Serie A. And guys, if you like this type of content, if you have any of your suggestions, anything that you wanna talk about, just write it in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe the channel. It means a lot to me. So let's make some money on Serie A, and catch you later.